here for the SSIS statewide release coffee talk, you're at the right place. We are going to allow folks that may be having difficulties getting in a chance to uh, fix their issues. And so we'll start at 9:03. So we'll see you all back here in just a couple of minutes.
While folks are getting settled, I just wanted to let you know if you didn't receive the email blast yesterday regarding where to register for the Coffee Talk as well as where the Coffee Talk presentation materials are posted. I'm going to put a link in the chat for you all to reference. If you navigate over to the right-hand portion of this screen, you will see the SSIS statewide release version 26.2 presentation linked over on the widget side of that page. So you can grab and download from there.
Good morning, Minnesota. Welcome to the May edition of the SSIS Coffee Talk on the SSIS statewide release version 26.2. Let's take a look at the agenda for today. As always, folks that are presenting today will introduce themselves as they begin their portion of the presentation. We're going to go over housekeeping, Tennyson warning. We have some announcements. We'll get right into the release 26.2. And then we'll have some SSIS resources shared and some closing announcements. So stay tuned for those. On the housekeeping side of things, attendees have been muted upon entry. If you'd like to speak, raise your hand using the reaction emoji at the bottom of your screen, and you'll be unmuted. Questions can be submitted using the chat feature, which will be monitored by our SSIS Business Ops staff. Closed captioning can be enabled using the CC button located on the bottom left of your screen. This session is being recorded and will be posted on the Minnesota Child Welfare Training Academy website very soon. Here's the Tennyson warning. We'll give you a couple of minutes to read this over. Basically, the important part is if you are on this meeting and you share and you show your face or you talk, you're going to be recorded. So go ahead and read that. Give you a minute and then we'll get started. Okay, well, hopefully that was enough time. Now we have some announcements. We'll start out with Marcia.
Hey, good morning. This is Marsha Riss. I'm with the SSIS Modernization Group. And before we get started with the coffee talk this morning, really wanted to give a quick update on the SSIS data cleanup efforts that we kicked off just last month. So a quick reminder, we kicked the SSIS CWIS data cleanup efforts off during the April coffee talk. There was a ton of great engagement and questions at that. If you missed it, the slides, recording, and a subsequent FAQ that were created from that are all posted on the sentiment and feedback site. I'll throw that in the chat as soon as I'm done here. We also shared a short overview video that agencies can use with staff or their administration. So please check out all the available resources that we've shared. They're really a great first step before reaching out to the help desk if you're working on those data cleanup efforts. Since April, we've been keeping an eye on the clearing progress, and the overall trend is definitely positive. Many agencies are actively working their clearing backlog, so thank you, great job. Statewide, we're seeing meaningful movement in the right direction. So even though we did learn that some of the earlier data pulls, so over the last couple months, we didn't always include the reconcile records. Sometimes they were included, sometimes they weren't. Now we're aware that was an issue, so they will always be included. So FYI, when we're looking at clearing, we're including those reconcile records. So the May data does correctly include the reconcile records and continues to show that we have continued improvement overall with clearing log items. So thank you and great job. So for June, we're shifting our focus to intakes needing action backlogs, which includes those intakes that have been sitting for 14 days or more unresolved on the intakes needing action. So if you're looking at that intakes needing action grid, that means they're either still open or they were closed, but the indicated action in the close reason for the intake has yet to be taken from that intake. So those are things that you have to do in order for it to fall off of the intakes needing action log. So getting these cleaned up helps protect those downstream assessments and casework and helps ensure that people aren't really slipping through the cracks. So agencies with higher numbers can expect targeted outreach by the end of this month, so in the next couple of weeks. So just like we did with clearing, we'll be reaching out, kind of letting you know where you stand and what we're looking for cleanup. We've also done some updated resources pertaining to intakes needing action, and we just posted that on the sentiment and feedback site just yesterday, so please check it out for the latest information and updates there. And that's all I have. Thanks, Ross.
Good morning, everybody. This is Cassie with the modernization team. And we are super, super excited to announce that we are planning like an in-person roadshow. We've decided to call it SSIS Espresso Talks, kind of a nod to the coffee talks. These will be in-person coffee talk type meetings. And we're going to do them regionally. The regions are determined by the Minnesota Child Welfare Training Academy regions. There's a link on the slide deck that you guys were emailed if you want to take a look and kind of see where your region falls. During these meetings, attendees can expect to receive information about SSIS, like the current system, the SSIS modernization efforts, and we really want to provide you guys all time to participate in open discussion, ask questions, receive assistance if needed, and really you'll have kind of some opportunities to guide that conversation. We are looking for some assistance and input. So if you're interested, please reach out to me. My email is on the screen and I'll throw it in the chat in a minute. But we would like one person from each region who would be willing to participate in being part of our planning committee for that region. And we are looking for input about topics that you may find helpful, that your agency is interested in, or your region is interested in, and then we can incorporate that to be covered during these meetings. So again, if you could please email me with any suggestions or if you'd like to volunteer to participate. And we really look forward to having this collaborative effort between SSIS Business and the modernization team so that we can all learn together and share together and talk about whatever's on our minds. So thanks, everybody. Look forward to seeing you. Look for invites for the summer. Thanks.
And good morning, everybody. This is Eric, the supervisor for the user support team here with SSIS at DCYF. And as everybody knows, we politely ask 3 agencies to volunteer prior to each statewide release. And this time we had the privilege of working with 3 agencies, as you can see on this slide: Carleton, Isanti, and Southwest Health and Human Services. And we wanted to extend a generous thank you for piloting this SSIS 26.2 release. And Ross, if you could just take us to the next slide. What we're going to do is we're going to play you a short video regarding the SSIS pilot, and hopefully it encourages folks out there to want to participate and volunteer with us during the next round of piloting, which begins in July. So Ross, if you could go ahead and hit that play button for folks, and we'll take a look.
SSIS pilots. Experience what's next together. Every quarter, SSIS evolves with new features, fixes, and enhancements. Before these updates go statewide, a small group of agencies work in partnership with DCYF and Minute to pilot them. Together, we ensure the system works smoothly for everyone. That's the power of collaboration. What is an SSIS pilot? Pilot is typically a 4-week collaborative testing period before each statewide release. Volunteer agencies use the pilot version of SSIS in real-world scenarios, providing hands-on feedback directly to DCYF and Minute. Your insights help shape the updates for all agencies across Minnesota. Why piloting matters. Internal testing by SSIS staff is thorough, but real-world use is different. Pilot agencies collaborate with DCYF and Minute, helping uncover issues that may never appear in testing. Your partnership strengthens the statewide release and improves the system for everyone. What pilot agencies do. During the pilot, participating agencies designate staff, typically mentors, to meet with DCYF and Minute partners for check-in during each sprint and guide their users as they go about their daily work, checking off tasks on their list as their work progresses. Test existing and new SSIS functionality. Identify issues that may not appear in internal testing. Provide feedback on updates. Complete tasks from the SSIS pilot checklist. Support during the pilot. Pilot agencies are never on their own. You receive weekly pilot calls with DCYF and SSIS Minute staff, priority help desk support, and early access to release notes, what's new, and software defect reports. Pilot calls are your chance to share experiences, collaborate on solutions, and provide direct feedback. Benefits of piloting. Participating gives your agency a first look at upcoming features. Your insights. Improve the system for all agencies. Ensure statewide releases are smooth and effective. Empower your staff to play a key role in shaping SSIS. Collaboration with DCYF and Minute means your voice is part of building a better system for Minnesota. After the pilot. After the pilot, the final release goes statewide. Pilot agencies transition seamlessly, confident knowing your feedback helped ensure a smooth rollout for everyone. Call to action. All county agencies are welcome to participate in future pilots. If you want early access, hands-on experience, and the chance to collaborate with DCYF and Minute to shape SSIS, contact the SSIS Help Desk today via email dcyf.ssis@state.mn.us. We look forward to partnering with you. Become a pilot agency. Volunteer for an upcoming pilot and help make SSIS even better. Together for all Minnesota agencies.
Thanks, Ross. So I put in the chat for folks. Oh, could you go back, please? I put in the chat for folks, if you want to pilot a future release, you may do so by emailing our SSIS help desk or Heidi Morris at state.mn.us. We look forward to that partnership with agencies, so thank you so much. And if you have additional questions about piloting, you can also reach out to Heidi, and we can get those answers for you. Now, the next slide, which you already saw, which is no surprise anymore, is instead of one mentor of the month this time around, we've decided to celebrate 4 mentors who have announced that they are spreading their wings and leaving their agencies for retirement. And I just wanted to quickly read something for them. As you can see, they are Lori Plessel at Pine, Teresa Guest with Swift, Dar Gold at Mille Lacs. She may already be gone, but if not, this is for you. And also Mary Doherty at Olmsted. After years of guiding clicks through SSIS's maze, calming frantic calls, interpreting cryptic error codes, and rescuing case notes lost in mysterious digital hallways, 4 wise mentors are hitting the SSIS log off button for good. You coached with patience, you trained with grace, you solved issues no human should reasonably have to face. You taught the art of did you try rebooting and the sacred ritual of please clear your cache. From intake to fiscal, from placements to plans, you helped users wrangle workflows with nothing but brains and an unshakable ability to stay logged in. So here's to your next chapter. Thank you for the wisdom, the laughter, and maybe sometimes the tears, and the many times you saved users from the brink of throwing their computers out of the window. Thank you very much to the 4 of you. And if there are any additional folks retiring, or if you have a special SSIS coordinator or mentor you would like to see recognized at an upcoming Coffee Talk, please send your nomination to Heidi Morris, along with a brief message on why you think they should be the next Mentor of the Month. Thank you very much to the 4 of you. We've definitely enjoyed serving you and appreciated all of your various reports to the help desk. Cheers, folks. And without further ado, let's get started. So here we go. We're going to start with a little chronology defect that's been corrected. The record type label, for example, contact, now correctly displays in the tree view for all records. The next slide we have for you is that another defect has been corrected, and it has to do with the date picker in SSIS documents. A fix was implemented in documents where the date picker is available. Entering a previous year and selecting the check mark now saves the date correctly. Any questions? All right, moving on. I'm also standing in for Anna today, the jack of all trades. For adult maltreatment, regarding the adult maltreatment report, the printed adult maltreatment report with and without reporter in an APS assessment workgroup has been corrected. The report will no longer duplicate sections when intakes are referred to the workgroup. Vulnerable adult maltreatment investigation summary. The vulnerable adult maltreatment investigation summary is inactivated. And the APS initial disposition letter. This document is updated with revised text and a resource list. Agencies must reattach their local RTF document template header to the document. Anna wanted me to let you know they have secured their training dates for adult protection for state federal fiscal year 2027. And those are listed on this slide. If you have any adult protection workers that you know would like to take this training, please refer to these dates on this slide, or you can navigate over to our resource page and check out how to register for those under the adult protection link. And then just as a reminder, we handle the SSIS training side of things. However, if you have any policy specific questions regarding any of the updates that you just heard regarding adult protection, you may feel free to reach out to the adult protection policy team at the email link dhs.adultprotection@state.mn.us. Okay, also standing in for child protection today is me. There has been a new screen added for labor trafficked youth. This is located under the Human Trafficking, Exploitation, and At-Risk folder. This folder was previously titled SEY/STY at risk, but was revised to cover labor trafficking. Additionally, a valid LTY or labor trafficked youth record is required for all youth with a current open continuous placement, and the child has been in a continuous placement on or after July 1st of 2025. This includes all children in continuous placement and all youth in extended foster care placement. An LTY record is not valid for the workgroup continuous placement if the date information gathered is before July 1st of 2025, effective date for when labor trafficking screening began. Child-related workgroups have one of the following programs: adolescent living, independent living skills, adoption guardianship, child brain injury waiver, child community access for disability inclusion, child community alternative care, child protective services, child welfare general, children's mental health, and developmental disabilities general. Additional items in this release related to human trafficking, exploitation, and at risk. The function associated, previously known as SEY/STY, is renamed to Access SEY/STY/LTY. When using the copy clients feature between agencies, labor trafficking data will not copy. And then also when merging persons, labor trafficking screening records are merged into the retained person record. This next slide just shows you that the grid was updated under the human trafficking folder to include victim of commercial sexual exploitation or labor trafficked youth, CSE or LTY. And I didn't put a question slide in there. Oh, I'm sorry, Allie. Prior to moving on, I just wanted to see if anybody had any questions regarding the new labor trafficked youth feature. Sorry. Looks like we do have some questions coming in. Will this appear as a data cleanup for any work group that was opened on or after 7/1/25 and be required to close the work group? Yes, Joanne. And then will facilities need an LTY specialized certification, or does that fall under SEY/STY? I believe that it still falls under SEY/STY, but is there a subject matter expert that wants to validate that?
I'm not 100% certain on that, Eric. I will take that question down and see if I can get any.
I didn't see any updates to that specialized setting, so I still believe it's SEY/STY at risk, but yeah, that would be good if we could get some clarity or validation. Thanks. How often does the LTY need to be reviewed, updated while the continuous placement is open? Let's see here. We'll probably have to take that question down too. My assumption is that it has to be reviewed once, but we can definitely get some clarification on that for you, Melissa. And yes, Joanne, I believe it is only required for children who are in placement after July 1st of 2025.
All right, it looks like that wraps up those questions. We'll work on getting some of those answers. My apologies, that's not my area of expertise either. So good morning, everyone. My name is Allie Tessmer, and I am a subject matter expert on the SSIS business operations team. And this morning, I'm just going to talk about an update that was done to repository error number 4034. And this was done to ensure accuracy. We updated the logic for this repository error, so the system evaluates all placements within a continuous placement episode that was open for at least 1 day in the past year, not just the most recent placement anymore. Previously, the error would only appear if it occurred in the most recent placement of the most recent qualifying continuous placement. This change may result in agencies seeing more of this specific error, which aligns with the AFCR 2020 requirements to report on all applicable placements, not just the most current one. I will pass it over to Holly to talk about BizOrg.
Good morning. This is Holly Riller, Fiscal Subject Matter Expert with SSIS Business Operations. This slide highlights the recent updates made to the fiscal details section of BizOrgs. Please note that the name has changed from Fiscal Details Folder to Fiscal Details Filter. When users select the Fiscal Details filter, they now see search parameters for 3 key areas: service arrangements, service arrangement groups, and payments. We've also updated the default date ranges to streamline the searches. Service arrangements and groups automatically show a 6-month history, while payments default to quarter to date. These defaults are meant to save time and make the search quicker, but users can update that date range to whatever date range you need to see. This slide explains where you will see your results after you set your filters in the search screen. Once users choose their search parameters, such as date ranges or specific service types, the system automatically organizes the results into the appropriate folders. The 4 folders that display results are service arrangements, service agreements, service arrangement groups, and payments.
So, Holly, we have questions about the repository 4034 in the chat. So, Allie, I don't know if you can see those, but
Yep, I'm
Jamie
working
is
on
what?
getting some
Oh,
information in the chat for everyone.
okay, thanks. All right. And then Dawn is asking, will these show on the tree view? I'm assuming she's referring to the BizOrg changes, the fiscal details filter.
Right. Yes, those will show on the tree view. Yep, that changes only, Mary, that changes only in the BizOrg, not under the client. Yes, that's correct.
Hey, Amy, I can throw the link in the chat where the PowerPoint is posted. So give me 1 second to do that for you.
Is that it for the questions?
I think so. Yep, we can move on to the next slide. Oh, wait, I do see a new question. Don is asking if this requires wheel of weights like downlink. I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to. This new filter was changed to actually make the search quicker and not have it freeze up. There's hasn't ever been fiscal purge done, so there's a lot of history and records in SSIS under BizOrgs, and so that's why this change was made, is to hopefully make those searches go faster. No, there is no, we do not have a date yet on fiscal purge, as that is discussed, I'm sure that will be shared out by our modernization team.
And then Allie did throw some more context in the chat about that 4034 error for repository. I think we can move on.
Okay. Okay, this slide is showing a new feature added to the payment section, the new exclusion prevention services report menu option. This option can be used by staff that need to mark specific payments so they do not appear in the prevention services state report. This feature works when using the payment proofing search. Users can select one or more individual payments in the tree view and then open the action menu to apply the exclusion. Once a payment is marked with this exclusion, it will not claim or proof on the prevention services state report. This helps ensure accuracy by preventing non-qualifying payments from being included in state reporting. The new exclusion prevention services report option is also now available for time records. Similar to the payments, this feature is used when certain time entries should not be included in the prevention services state report. The option becomes available when users run a time proofing search, select individual time records in the tree view, and open the action menu. Once a time record is marked with this exclusion, it will not claim or proof on the prevention services state report. This will help agencies ensure accurate reporting and claiming by preventing non-qualifying time records from being included. The old time exclusion search has now been renamed Healthcare Time Exclusion Search. This helps clarify that the search applies specifically to healthcare-related time exclusions, and a brand new option, Prevention Time Exclusion Search, has been added. This search displays prevention services exclusions for time records, giving staff a clear way to identify which time entries have been excluded for prevention services reporting. In addition to the time changes, the payment exclusion search now includes a new option for prevention services payment exclusions. This means that both time and payment records now have prevention-specific exclusion tracking, improving accuracy across prevention services reporting and proofing. These updates make it easier for users to quickly locate and review excluded records for both healthcare and prevention services. There is also a new time claim void tab that has been added to the claim screen. Users can void claims when corrections are needed. Voiding a claim unlocks the associated time record, and it allows staff to correct the errors or make updates before the next reporting cycle. This adjustment will show up and be generated on the most current report. Corrections cannot be made beyond 5 quarters. This functionality is only necessary for submitted time claims. If your report is still in draft status, time entries may be corrected before they are submitted. This functionality is only relevant for claims related to time. There is an existing process for payments where you would use adjustments and reversals.
I do not see any questions referring to the fiscal information that you just updated. All right. Mary asks, just to verify, is the void only for prevention services claims?
Yes, that's correct, Mary. Just for prevention services MI claims. Yep.
Give it a couple more seconds here to see if people can gather thoughts and ask questions. Otherwise, we can definitely circle back if you think of a question. All right, we can probably take it to the next slide. Our final update slide for this release is that purge rules are now added for child protection non-caregiver assessment work groups. The default destruction date will equal 5 years. And retention settings can be adjusted in SSIS admin tools, county preferences, if your agency chooses to do so. We would advise working with your county attorney on any changes you make to the retention record. And then we'll give it a few more seconds here to see if there are any lingering questions before we move into the resource portion of our webinar. All right, Ross, feel free to move on.
Okay. Well, now we're at the area where we talk a little bit about resources. The first resource we wanted to kind of familiarize yourself with, or hopefully it's not the first time you've seen this, since we cover this pretty much on every Coffee Talk, is the SSIS resource page. So from the resource page, you've got many resources available to you. You can get over to the sentiment and feedback engage with us website and page. You can get into the mentor program. You can get into the SSIS update archive. You've got support information that has release information and data definitions and all that good stuff. You have your SSIS training section. So all kinds of resources there for training and review. And SSIS Agile apps. And of course, SSIS time entry. So plenty of resources there. If you're not familiar with it, take some time and go on that page and learn more about it. You also have Engagement HQ. So on Engagement HQ, we wanted to pull out a few things. We have the engagement and information site. We have the time entry and transformation. And we have the DCYF Comprehensive Child Welfare Information System project. So feel free to check those out. You have your newsletter publications that are sent to you. Minnesota Department of Child, Youth, and Families Gov Delivery newsletters. And of course, the one that we make sure that we update you on new things SSIS related is the SSIS update newsletter. And there's an archive in there for you to check out to see any past issues. You have your Coffee Talk archive. You can go in and check this out, look at any of the past Coffee Talks at the SSIS training, Minnesota Child Welfare Training Academy. So they host that for us. And now our future update for our future Coffee Talk. We have one coming up in June on the 30th. And it's on targeted case management tips and tricks for creating claims. So
and Ross, I wanted
Go
to
ahead.
kind of butt in. Sorry about that. This is going to be our first maiden voyage and partnering with a county agency and delivering a Coffee Talk. And I'm really excited about it because for the last 5 years since Coffee Talk started, it's sort of been the state who arranges and coordinates these. So I'm excited to be partnering with Casey Volkers at Stearns County, who will be partnering on creating the PowerPoint presentation and delivering the information. I think that the mentors and coordinators out there are really the true experts, in SSIS and experience it every day. And if you are interested in partnering with me on subject matter areas that that you're very familiar with and you'd like to disseminate it to the rest of the mentor coordinator population, you can feel free to reach out to the help desk, or I can put my email in the chat too. I will relish in that partnership. So super excited about this one. We had to push it to the very end of the month though, due to scheduling conflicts. We're happy to be flexible and work with folks on future Coffee Talk ideas. So again, I'll put my email in the chat if you're interested in partnering on any future topics where you think folks struggle in using SSIS, or where there's a lot of confusion, and you tend to be a subject matter expert at your agency. So thank you.
Well, thanks for the segue. So here's your thank you. And as always, we want to thank you guys for spending the morning with us and learning the information. So have a great rest of your day and week, and stay golden, Minnesota. Radio Ross out.